Hello, I'm Harriet and welcome to The Sportsman. Today I'm joined by Anton.
Hi Harriet, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. He is going to be giving us some odds for the games coming up this week. So today we're going to be talking about City's game against Fulham and midweek fixture against Cardiff, this weekend's semi-final of the FA Cup against Brighton, the quad and of course Harriet's hunch of the week. So we got featured on YouTube last week, didn't we, Anton?
Well done, Harriet, fully deserved.
So exciting. Thank you all for the lovely comments. I'm going to reply to some of those now. So Max was right. My Bernardo tip did come off. I hope you had a tenner on that, Max. I'm happy that I cheered you up, Mr. Nobody. I'm really sure that you are a somebody. Luke reckons City are going to win all four. I think so too. Now, thank you for the comments about my makeup. There's some not very nice ones, were there, Anton?
It's an absolute joke, if you ask me. Very small-minded people.
I don't mind. I do wear a lot of makeup, but I love it and I don't care. Now, I was thinking that if people are that interested in this, maybe we should do a Sportsman makeup tutorial.
I think that's an excellent idea. My skin's a bit rough, actually, after a harsh winter, so I could do with some moisturiser or something like that.
Yeah, a bit of primer on there before you put your foundation on, maybe a bit of contour.
Yeah, but what absolute losers anyway. Get away with them bad comments. No time for it.
So, moving on, City got a win against Fulham this weekend. They got a 2-0 win. It was pretty comfortable, wasn't it, Anton?
They won at an absolute canter. I tell you what, I've never seen so many mistakes in the first half. The amount of times Fulham gave that ball away, absolutely disgraceful.
Were you proud of me, Anton?
8-1 winner, very proud of you, Harriet.
I said Bernardo was going to score first, and he certainly did. So if you did have £10 on that, you would have got a return of £90. Bernardo had a great game. He scored the first and had an assist with the second. Now that's Bernardo's third goal in a row in a City game.
He's in good form at the moment.
He was star man, I think, of that Fulham game. That just proves that City, if you make a mistake against them, you're going to lose, even those tiny mistakes.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got Cardiff midweek. Earlier on in the season, we did beat them 5-0. I think it's going to be another City win. What do you think, Anton?
Well, 5-0, that were an absolute spanking that day, and it was 16-1 it were for the 5-1. It's 9-1 for a repeat this time, and I don't think it'll be that tight. I don't think it'll be that tight this time.
No, I'm not thinking 5-1. That was a memorable game, though. Aguero got his 300th appearance, and Mahrez scored his very first goal for City, and his second goal after coming off the bench as a sub. Now, I am thinking a City win. I mean, Cardiff are in the relegation zone. They lost to Chelsea this weekend.
Very controversial, wasn't it?
It certainly was controversial with that goal from Azpilicueta. It was offside by quite a mile, and Neil Warnock was absolutely raging, wasn't he?
He was, and we saw the scenes after the game.
We saw the scenes, the face-off, Neil Warnock versus the officials. It was so awkward, everyone was waiting. It was them emoji eyes like this. Because it was like, is he going to say something? Isn't he going to say something? He didn't say anything, so he couldn't get fined. He just applauded them as they walked off. I did see a tweet that said it was like the X Factor when he hadn't got through to judges' houses. The devastated hands came up there. I thought it was like, you know, your dad, when you were younger and you didn't text him, and you'd been on a night out, you didn't text him, he didn't know where you were, and he was just waiting when you got home. But he didn't even shout at you, he just gave you that. I'm so disappointed.
He's not mad, he's just disappointed.
No, that's worse than shouting.
It's worse, we all know that. But for me, I loved what Warnock did after the game, and I'm a big fan of him. I personally don't want VAR in the Premier League. I want to keep it as human as possible. I don't want 4-minute breaks for us to get a decision. But when you've got officiating like this, making decisions like that, there are numerous terrible, terrible calls in that game. And they're leaving us with no choice but to have VAR. So I'm afraid it's going to have to be brought in. And I didn't want it, but what can we do?
And you can see why, can't you?
Yeah.
And this week's You OK, Hun goes to Neil Warnock because it's an actual genuine one. It's not sarcastic or mean. It's a genuine, Are you OK, Hun? I know how passionate he is, and I just wanted to scoop him up and give him a big hug, because decisions like that could be the difference between Cardiff getting relegated or not.
I completely agree, and there's a lot of money on the line here, and people say, oh, it evens itself out at the end of the season. It bloody doesn't, because 3 points there could have completely changed the running, so it's a shocking decision, and you've got to feel for Cardiff.
You do. So now he might not want a hug after me after he hears my prediction for this week, because I am going for 4-1 Man City. Odds on that are 10-1. I do think Cardiff will get a goal, because I do think they'll want to come back fighting. Yeah. So both teams to score and a City win, odds on that are 7-5. What do you reckon, Anton? What do you feel?
I can see, I feel Cardiff are going to be a bit deflated coming into this, and having a look at the form, we've got 6 of the last 7 victories by City have been by a margin of 1 or 2 goals, right, which shows they've not been blowing teams away as much as they have been at other points this season, with the exception in that being the 6-0 win over Chelsea at home. But for me...
That was a good one to bring in, Anton. That was a personal favourite.
One of the best performances of the season, I've seen that. But for me, I think they are going to score a few goals against Cardiff. And I feel it's going to be a 3-0 win. And that's priced at 6-1, I think you can get that at. So I'm going for a solid 3-0 win.
I agree with what you're saying. We haven't been winning by that much of a margin as we were at the beginning of the season. But seeing as it's at home, we're feeling good. Yeah. I'm still thinking it might be 4-1, Anton.
And I'm feeling good. Da-dum, 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 ba-da-ba-da-bum. So yes, 3-0 for me, 4-1 from Harriet.
Exactly. Very exciting. We have the FA Cup semi-final coming up this weekend at Wembley. Man City face Brighton. How are you feeling about this, Anton? It's one step closer to another trophy for us.
It is, and I see them almost having the FA Cup in the bag already. I know that Wolves and Watford in the other semi-final. I feel this should be routine for City at the weekend, and according to the bookies, they've already won it by looks of things. They're as short as 1-7 to win in normal time it is, and as short as 1-20 to qualify for the final.
That is crazy.
It is crazy. There's definitely not much value there, Harriet, and we know Brighton have been a bit of a mixed bag this season, haven't they? They've got a tough week as well. They've got a midweek fixture.
2 top games in a week.
2 top games where they're not going to be seeing much of the ball. They're going to be absolutely shattered by the end of Saturday's game. But we see it being a fairly routine win for City, don't we?
Yeah, I'm going for 2-0 this weekend. I definitely am feeling a City win. Odds on that are 9-2. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's a decent price, 9-2. Again, I don't think they're going to blow them away. But for me, I've got a little bet on this one myself, and I'm actually going for a City win and both teams to score, which is priced at 5-2. My reasoning for this, I was having a look back through the form again, and Brighton have, prior to Saturday, they've scored in all 7 of the previous games, and with an incentive of an FA Cup final on the line, I feel 5-2 is a very generous price for a City win and both teams to score. I still see City going through comfortably, but that price, I'm willing to take a punt on that, 5-2. £20 returns 70.
Sounds pretty good to me. As long as you're going for that City win, Anton,
oh, yes.
I don't mind.
Oh, yes.
Now, because we are still in all 3 competitions, we have loads going on in April. It's so busy. I talked about it a lot in my last video, so if you didn't see it, then make sure you check it out. We've got 8 games in April, Premier League, Champions League and FA Cup, all thrown in there, and a Manchester derby. It's a busy one.
That is hectic.
And I know I keep saying it, but I feel the quad, 1 trophy down, 3 to go. It's just getting closer and closer. Anton, do you think City can do it?
My heart wants it to happen, but my head tells me it's not going to. It'd be such a big achievement to win a quad. It really would. But I see the FA Cup, I see that one being in the bag already.
That's 2.
The Premier League, it's too tight for me at the moment. You know, I want City to win it.
So you're thinking City over Liverpool, because that is a big question in everyone's minds at the minute.
I am, and I think they're going to win a treble. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. That is the one for me. I think a certain Mr. Messi would have something to say about that. And I'm not talking Mr. Men, I'm talking Lionel. Barcelona. There would be my bet at about 10-3, 7-2 for the Champions League. I don't think City should be favourites. I honestly think that Barcelona.
But they are favourites for those people in the comments who keep saying they're not. They actually are favourites, aren't they?
Yeah, and when you look at it, you've got 4-1 about them completing the quad. And the 9-4 to win that Champions League, you can almost get 1-2.
You can almost taste it, is what I thought you were going to say.
You can, and either way, if that were to happen, that would be a remarkable, remarkable achievement.
It really would be amazing. I mean, I'm really hoping for the quad, but I will be happy with the treble.
Of course, and that will still go down as a magnificent, magnificent
Of course
achievement.
it will. So if we do make it through to the next round of the FA Cup and the Champions League, that means there's just 14 games to go for City to win the quad. But I did read this somewhere that Man United were in exactly the same position 20 years ago before winning the treble, exactly the same with 14 games to go. So it can be done, and City will be doing one better because they would have the Carabao Cup in the bag, which means all four.
Oh, it'd be an unprecedented achievement. It really would.
Now, moving on to Harriet's Hunch of the Week. It's here as always. Now, this weekend, I'm going to go for Leicester to beat Huddersfield, Newcastle to beat Crystal Palace, and Burnley to beat Bournemouth. I feel Burnley have got a win in them after they beat Wolves 2-0 at the weekend. What are you thinking, Anton?
Yeah, well, first one, Leicester to beat Huddersfield. Leicester have won 3 on the trot now under Brendan Rodgers, and Huddersfield relegated last weekend, and they've only won twice at home all season. I see Leicester having too much for them. I'm with you on that one. And then we've also got Newcastle at home to Crystal Palace, and actually having a look at this one, Newcastle have won 5 league games on the trot at home, which is a massive turnaround, and fair play to Rafa. Crystal Palace are good travellers, and I think they will get on the score sheet, but Newcastle at home, I wouldn't put anyone off them with the form there. And finally, Burnley to win away at Bournemouth. Not my favourite club, Burnley, but they've been a lot better since Christmas. They really have. And Bournemouth, they've only one win in the last 7 now. So yeah, I can see that happening. And tenner returns 150. It's decent value.
Yeah.
Nice little treble there, Harriet. Nice little treble. And after last week's 8-1 winner, I won't put anyone off.
No, I've got a feeling again with this one. Thank you, Anton, for that. So thank you so much for watching us, guys. I really appreciate you checking out our videos. If you've enjoyed it, then subscribe to our channel. Make sure you press ding dong on that notification bell. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining me, Anton.
No problem, my mate.
And we will see you again very soon.
See you soon.